Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
We are diving into a really magnificent stack of source material today. It's all centered around W Magazine's, their big best performances issue.
The high-status one.
Exactly. And when actors and, well, personalities like this agree to participate, they often drop the usual PR guard. They share these surprisingly candid, deeply personal details.
And that's the key, isn't it? Our mission is really a quick but thorough extraction of these little nuggets, these moments where the public facade just completely cracks. We're trying to move past the glossy, perfectly staged cover image.
Yeah, to the messy, often hilarious, and sometimes terrifying reality underneath.
Right.
We're featuring stars who made the cut for this issue, so we've got names like A.P. Rocky, George Clooney, Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney.
Serena Williams, Angela Bassett. I mean, it's a huge list.
It's a huge list. But we're not really talking about their work today. We're talking about their humanity. We are going straight into those surprising, unvarnished details they revealed. So everything from, career near disasters to getting mauled by a lion.
And even some pretty intense reality TV obsessions.
Oh, for sure.
And that juxtaposition is absolutely critical. We consume these figures as, these polished icons.
Perfect.
But these specific anecdotes, they give us valuable, unfiltered insight into vulnerability and, frankly, into some intense persona management in this age of constant information.
I love that tension, the glamorous star confessing a totally awkward human moment.
Exactly.
So let's start right there. Let's ground these global figures in something, universally relatable: childhood, specifically those innocent, awkward beginnings of romance.
It's a great starting point for connection.
Yeah.
You have George Clooney, a figure whose public image is built on effortless sophistication.
Yeah, swab it, totally.
And he took us all the way back to the precise location of his first kiss.
And the location was just perfect. It was the back of a church in his hometown of Augusta, Kentucky.
Yes, and the age. He was 11.
11.
The memory is so vivid he can recall the exact feeling he had. Crazy terrified.
Wow.
Now think about why that detail is so compelling for you, the listener. It immediately shrinks that gap between the superstar and the audience.
Of course.
Fame just doesn't erase the terrifying awkwardness of being an 11-year-old in a pivotal, scary moment.
It makes him feel like your slightly cooler, older cousin, not some global movie star. It's a very smart piece of humanizing.
For sure.
And if we're talking about the past, we have to talk about the intensity of first crushes. The list of childhood idols cited in these sources is just this fascinating cross-section of 90s and early 2000s pop culture.
Oh, it's so nostalgic. But it also reflects, the breadth of their influence. We have the classic teen idols. Mary-Kate and Ashley from Full House.
A staple of that era.
Absolutely. And then you have Miley Cyrus as Hannah Montana. And then there's Hilary Duff, where the source makes this hilarious little clarification.
Oh, right. They clarified that their crush on Duff, specifically during a role she played in Italy, that it wasn't Make-A-Wish.
Exactly. That tiny clarification, just acknowledging the possibility of confusion, it adds such an odd, genuine layer of human detail.
It really does.
It does. It shows the interviewee is already anticipating how the public is going to perceive their life.
Yeah.
But the list wasn't just limited to teen stars.
Yeah.
They also crushed on these powerful, established figures like Angela Bassett and, separately, Serena Williams.
I find that range fascinating. It shows that star power manifests in different ways. You know, sometimes it's the relatable girl next door, and other times it's the untouchable icon of achievement.
Exactly. It's not just about romantic attraction. It's about early admiration and, I think, ambition. And speaking of ambition and protection, let's make a smooth shift from the innocence of childhood crushes to the immense responsibility and high pressure of celebrity parenthood.
Okay.
A.P. Rocky, talking about the future dating life of his and Rihanna's daughter, already has some pretty intense protective thoughts.
You can just feel the intensity of the barrier he's already building. He predicted of any potential suitors. I'm pray for them.
And then he concluded that it's going to be tough for them indeed.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating insight into the pressure cooker of raising a child who will inevitably be famous from birth.
Right.
I mean, unlike regular parents who worry about their kids' dates, A.P. Rocky is dealing with the future reality that anyone who approaches his daughter is going to be doing so under the immense shadow of his and Rihanna's global fame.
That's a lot.
They're protecting a future celebrity legacy, not just a child's feelings.
It sets a really high pressure stage. So if we move from the innocence of, childhood terror to the critical career defining risks of a professional life under the microscope, This is where the narrative gets dramatically interesting.
Okay, let's jump into section 2. So, moments that tested the star's resilience, physically, professionally, and socially.
Where do we start?
We're starting with something truly shocking. A literal scar that speaks to the physical risks of performance. Jacob Elordi revealed a moment of profound physical trauma that happened when he was just 8 or 9 years old, while making a movie.
He was mauled by a lion.
I mean,
That phrase alone is almost unbelievable. This wasn't a paper cut. He described the lion having picked me up and
shook me around.
shook him around.
And he called it probably the scariest thing that ever happened to me when I was making a movie. Think about that implication.
Yeah.
Most people, especially child actors, would probably quit acting after an experience like that. But he kept going. We often discuss the emotional toll of acting, but this is a stark physical reminder of the unpredictable, uncontrolled risks that can just crop up.
Even in the highly managed environment of a Hollywood set.
Exactly.
It raises a big question, though. How does an experience like being physically dominated by an apex predator at age 8 inform the way you approach your job today? Does it make you reckless or, like, hypervigilant?
I don't know. It certainly adds a layer of depth to his public persona, doesn't it? It transforms him from just a pretty face into someone who clearly has this profound, tested resilience.
For sure.
But the risks aren't always physical. George Clooney, later in his career, revealed a moment where he genuinely thought his career was going to end before it had even fully begun. It was a high-pressure professional standoff.
This was that classic power dynamic struggle. He detailed getting into a serious argument with an executive producer, a person who literally held his fate in their hands. Clooney told him to knock it off, and when the producer escalated the yelling...
Clooney yelled back.
Wow.
Louder.
Yeah.
That level of defiance early in your career is a monumental gamble. I mean, most people would just fold under that kind of authority, especially when survival is the priority. And the outcome was so ambiguous that he says it's still debatable whether I was fired or I quit.
That's such a powerful anecdote. It wasn't the project or a bad review that almost ended him. It was a character test, a professional risk where he just drew a line in the sand. I wonder if that initial willingness to stand up to authority, even at the cost of his career, is the exact defining trait that allowed him to become the producer and director he is today.
I think you're onto something. You have to be willing to take those risks to gain that kind of creative control.
You do.
Precisely. It's less about the fight itself and more about the character that was revealed by the fight. The career we see today, one of immense power and independence, was, it seems, forged in that critical moment of defiance.
It's a foundational narrative for him.
Totally.
Okay, so now let's move from physical and professional peril to social peril. The pressure of maintaining perfection when you are surrounded by the world's elite. We have an anecdote about an actor who had a spectacularly embarrassing fall at the Met Ball.
Ah, yes. The Met Ball stumble.
A couple of years ago.
The scenario. Wearing huge shoes, becoming totally starstruck, and then completely toppling over and fell. This is the moment where the curated image of celebrity perfection just crashes.
Literally crashes. And the witness makes the story priceless. Cardi B looking over, completely so confused and asking the question we all would ask.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I can just visualize that moment so clearly. Cardi B herself, an expert in dynamic, often chaotic public presence, witnessing the collapse of high fashion and graceful poise.
It's perfect.
That anecdote is the perfect illustration of the gap between the expected celebrity ideal, the Met Ball glamour, the impossible shoes, and the clumsy human reality of existing in gravity.
And being momentarily overwhelmed by fame.
Right.
It's that clumsy human reality that beautifully transitions us into section 3, which I find the most delightful and the most telling.
Okay.
The unexpected full-on celebrity deep dive into reality television.
This section provides a massive aha moment for you, the listener. It proves that even the most exclusive A-listers end up binge-watching the same chaotic, low-stakes entertainment that we do. It's the great cultural leveler.
It really is. One figure revealed that their intense consumption of reality TV didn't start with genuine interest, but purely out of necessity. They were at a speaking gig in Poland.
Necessity is the mother of all bad decisions. So the star arrives in Poland, and the only content available in English on their hotel television was a show called Below Deck.
And crucially, it was on a 24-hour loop.
On a loop, they admitted to watching about 4 hours of the yacht drama.
4 solid hours of demanding guests and tight galley spaces. I wonder, though, was this a genuine accidental discovery of a guilty pleasure? Or was it a form of, like, sensory distraction in a foreign land?
That's an excellent point. I suspect it started as distraction but then transitioned into fascination. And what's really fascinating is what the star claimed to take away from that marathon viewing session. The conclusion wasn't about the scandalous hookups or the rude guests.
No, the takeaway was professionalism.
Professionalism.
They were mostly impressed by how much they kept their act together when all these sort of awful people came on and wanted their toenails buffed and things like that.
It's almost a professional critique of service work, filtered through the absurdity of luxury yachting reality TV. It suggests that even in their downtime, their brain is still analyzing performance and pressure and the resilience required to manage difficult situations.
Yeah.
But wait, are we sure that star was genuinely impressed by professionalism? Or was that just a celebrity's way of sounding highbrow about binging yacht drama?
Huh. It's probably a little bit of both, but let's compare that passive, accidental viewing to an anecdote that showcases true, active, and relentless fan dedication,
Okay.
demonstrated by another star, specifically for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
This is where we see the contrast between the professional intensity required to land a major role and the personal intensity of being a dedicated fan.
Yes. The star went to extreme length that would be completely relatable to a diehard reality TV fanatic. They brought their brother to New York and waited outside for 2 hours in the freezing cold during Jen Shah's legal proceedings,
2 hours.
just for a chance to glimpse her indictment or sentencing. 2 hours in the freezing cold.
That is dedication that rivals the preparation they bring to a major film role. It begs the question, why would someone whose daily reality is so controlled, so polished, so high status,
Right.
spend 2 miserable hours seeking out the messy, uncontrollable authenticity of a reality star facing legal trouble?
Maybe they're seeking a reality that's messier and therefore feels more real and less managed than their own highly controlled existence.
It's an appetite for genuine, unscripted drama that their professional world, by definition, just can't provide. It's a fascinating inversion of performance.
It is. And the best part is the reason they eventually gave up. Not because they were recognized or bored or decided they were too high profile for this activity.
No, they gave up because they were just too cold.
The ultimate human moment.
Yes.
Even the most dedicated fans, even if they happen to be international superstars, are still subject to the basic, uncomfortable human need for warmth. It strips away all the celebrity context and just leaves the shivering fan.
It connects us right back to the core theme. These figures, whether they are fighting a producer, surviving a lion mauling, or waiting for a reality star, are fundamentally dealing with very human anxieties and desires.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've covered everything from George Clooney's nervous first kiss at 11, Jacob Elordi's terrifying brush with a literal lion,
A superstar collapsing at the Met Ball.
and the truly dedicated willingness to wait 2 hours in the freezing cold for a Real Housewives sighting.
These specific, sometimes absurd details, the terrified 11-year-old, the executive producer standoff, the 4-hour below-deck marathon, they are the essential nuggets that truly inform us. They show us the true intersection of public performance, private vulnerability, and hidden obsession. They humanize the icon in a way a polished, scripted interview could never achieve.
It just makes you reconsider the massive effort required to maintain that image of effortless success.
Which raises an important question for you to consider as you move forward with this knowledge. Is the greatest, most telling performance these stars deliver the one they give on screen to earn that W magazine spot?
Oh.
Or is it the hidden, dedicated performance they give as a fan, sacrificing their comfort, waiting 2 hours in the freezing cold just to glimpse a reality star, something for you to mull or explore on your own?